then is used that card is used as credit, as a brief description. So then, when I did get credit, right, it was the same means. I was like, I just want to build. In order to build, you gotta show credibility. You gotta show that you can get debt and pay it off. Get debt and pay it off. And it's a game, right? And this one of them games that I'm like, I don't want to play, but I
Mhm.
understand that you got to play the game, but it's a game that I don't want to play. And it's also a game where it's like, get on the other side of it. So my mentality was like, man, I need to start a goddamn credit card. I need Pratt Capital. I need to start a credit card. Fuck this. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you could attach an interest to is gonna accrue you passive income. Anything that you could attach interest to, compound interest, you could accrue passive income, because that one purchase, as we've all exclaimed, that one purchase is going to you're just making the minimum payments. You're going to keep on paying. You're going to have to keep paying, right? And it's like, dang, I gotta pay for this one purchase for how long? Like the interest always eats me up. And I have been one who misused credit cards, because then it's like, blow the bag, or like them times that I was out the country and I'm like, I'm completely disconnected. I don't even, I got an idea of what I got in my bank account. You know what? Let me not check. Let me not,
Mhm.
mess with my bank account. I could just use the credit cards. I pay it when I get back. My problem when it comes to credit, is not that I don't have the income to pay for whatever it is that I'm using the credit for. It does have that mentality of that free money. I do usually wind up like, okay, I'm gonna get gas with my credit card, and it's a gas credit card, right? A travel credit card. So I'm also getting miles. I'm also getting points and rewards. And it's all good stuff. Like I'm building, but then like I forget that I spent $30,
Yeah.
and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna make the minimum payment. Like I ain't missing a payment, but I'm like I ain't pay back that 30. So that minimum, now I gotta factor in the interest and the amount that I spent, and I'm just making the minimum. And the minimum might cover that, but now what goes to the principal is much smaller. It's a much smaller amount. So I've had uh I've had to keep relearning this, because it's just automatic. Like when it comes to money, once I spend money, I'm done with it. That's usually my mentality. Like it's done. I'm gonna make some more money. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't worried about it. But that's more of a debit type thing. So I don't be focused too much on payments, because once I spend, I'm done. I'm that type of person. Like if I can't afford it, if I can't just buy it outright, then more than likely I don't need it type thing, you know. And we talk about something as small as gas, or something as sufficient as groceries, because them shit's not cheap no more. Um, so something as sufficient as groceries. So let's say I spent $200 at the grocery store. I'm like, all right, that when I get home, I've already bought the groceries. I'm not thinking about making a payment. So what I would do now to get ahead of it is I set the budget. If I know I'm going to spend and I want to use this card, I'll go ahead and make the payment first, and then I'll make sure I won't spend outside of that budget. So it still either evens out, or I just paid more than what I spent, you know. But that's still trickery in that, because they're gonna take the interest accrues on the purchases made, not the payments. So it's still trickery on that, and I'm still gonna make the monthly payments on that as well. Um, yeah, credit cards has been interesting. It's been a lot of trial and error, and I'm glad that we're bringing this to the surface. We definitely gonna have to talk about this more, because this is where most of us, I see, most of us are in debt. It ain't usually like everybody don't have student loans. A lot of people, their cars are paid off, or they never had a car note. Or, we talk about like rent and stuff. Like rent is a monthly expense. It's not so much as debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, so certain things, like the main acronym of debt is credit that I see. Correct me if I'm wrong. So
No, there's definitely good debt and bad debt. So debt can work in your
yeah.
favor when it comes to leveraging some things and whatnot when you up there a little bit. But continue. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And inquiries, I'm gonna have to learn more about that. How inquiries could hurt. Um, and yeah, I'm still learning when it comes to credit, but I have been one to jump full fledged in. I put both feet first. Like, all right, let's go ahead and do this thing. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn through experience. Because who I wanted to learn from all had that fear mongering from protection out of love, like just don't mess with it. And it's like, well, that's not going to get me ahead. And another thing that we'll discuss furthermore is financial freedom. What does that actually look like? Credit is a big part of financial freedom. So a lot of people like to use that term loosely, or talk about it. It's become one of those things that I call a trend. But when we actually discuss these things, let's actually talk about it.